Thanks for tuning into the Trade Setup. It's Tuesday morning and it's a day ahead of Jerome Powell's testimony. Let's take stock of the global news flow first before we come to our markets. So S&P 500 was hovering near record highs as traders await inflation, earnings and Jerome Powell's testimony. In fact, Asia's edged a bit higher ahead of that same testimony as well. I don't know if something new will come about. As of now, the market is believing that it will be September when the rate cuts happen, excuse me. But let's wait and watch what happens thereof. Oil is steady as traders assess Beryl, which is the storm, Beryl's impact and prepare for Fed. So a bit of a pullback, maybe if you will, slightly if you, but nothing too dramatic. And in other news, Microsoft has ordered China staff to swap Androids for iPhones, apparently in a security measure. And they are saying that they will do this, possibly do this across the, or at least journalists are saying that they might do it across their US offices as well. But this is big for Apple. Interesting to note something like this has happened. Like I said, S&P hovered near the record highs, or Dow essentially flattish, Nasdaq 0.25% higher, futures flattish as well. Asia marginally higher. Yes, China is a different kettle of fish, but otherwise the rest of the Asian pack maybe marginally higher, edging a little bit. So watch out for that. Implied open suggests a flattish start in the session today. Let's get to the trade setup. You know, it's a ranging market, but it's weak ahead of crucial earnings starting to come Thursday. Remember, the updates thus far, at least on the banking side, haven't set the stage on fire. So that is looking slightly wobbly. We need IT to deliver. Will IT deliver in earnings and commentary? Remains to be seen. Maybe energy can do it. Let's wait and watch. It's an overbought condition, of course, and which suggests caution in taking very strong long positions, market-wide, if you will, really, and especially after what banking is throwing up in terms of quarterly updates. It's a weak quarter seasonally, but it's looking even more wobbly. Traders, as I said, will closely monitor Jerome Powell's testimony, and I think maybe ahead of that, very difficult for our markets also to show a very material breakout in today's session for sure. And you know, oil upstream is seeing flows. It's difficult to call further strength, but I'll draw your attention to a technical indicator. One, ONGC, after a really long time, I don't know if I can pull up a chart here, but after a really long time, like 5 or 10 years, ONGC is moving out of a range and it's showing a breakout. So that's part one. Okay, thank you for this. This is the 12-month chart, ONGC, but if you can pull up a longer dated chart for ONGC, maybe 5 years, if we can, it would be really nice. Look at this. It's eclipsed some of those positions here, and it's starting to inch up higher. On a 10-year basis, it's probably right at the level that it was at some time ago. So ONGC is actually making all the right moves. There is an ETF from ICICI which is on, and once that ETF garners its flows and shuts for subscription, it will deploy that money as well. So oil and gas has a positive trigger, a technical trigger, and maybe earnings look good as well. So watch out for the oil upstream names in particular. I would have said downstream as well, because even they will see some buying. But the point being, when oil prices are higher, you don't bet on downstream, you bet on upstream. And which is why I think Oil India, ONGC, Reliance are seeing the kind of traction that they are. Out of nowhere, ONGC really went up 4% yesterday. Okay, let's see some stocks in the session today. Concor, I thought was a bit ho-hum. I mean, total throughput just about 6%. Now, it's, you know, the domestic one, export-import throughput at about 3.3% higher, 2.89 lakh TEUs. The domestic throughput at 8.69 lakh TEUs was up 15%, which was strong. But the point is that 6% maybe leaves a bit to be desired. Let's wait and watch how this reacts. My guess is that it may not be as sanguine today. So watch out for that one. Watch out for Brokerage consumer. I thought was interesting. Indian business saw about 8 to 9% organic volume growth and 5 to 7% value growth as well. Indonesia business saw about 8 to 9% volume growth, double-digit constant currency sales growth, and they've spoken about how they expect double-digit reported EBITDA growth at consolidated organic level for Brokerage consumer. In fact, like all the stocks went up yesterday, this one too. Goldman Sachs is actually saying that this is an industry-leading growth which continues for Brokerage consumer, and therefore they are not surprised that there might be some more traction. They've raised the target price by about 25 rupees as well to 1500 from 1475. So watch out for GCPL in the session today. Then Pitti Engineering has opened the QIP for raising up to 360 crores. It's coming in at a discount 1054, which is about a 9% discount to the current market price. Let's see if the stock goes down a little bit in the session today. Similarly for Jupiter Wagons at 689 versus 723, but usually the demand for this paper or all the coach manufacturers is actually pretty high. So watch out for Jupiter Wagons. It might actually react positively today post the QIP. MGL has hiked CNG prices by 1.5 rupees and domestic PNG by 1 rupees per SCM in the Mumbai circle. Price hike by Gujarat Gas was not viewed positively by the street. In this case, it might be different. Let's wait and watch if this reacts positively. But I think today is all about brokerage notes. There's a Motilal Oswal note on oil and gas, by the way, so watch out for that. Bernstein has come out with a note on IT services. They are saying specialist engineering services focused on software and auto have a long headroom of growth. And they believe these specialists have out-executed broad-based IT generalists, TCS, Infosys, etc. And even European pure play companies. They've given a couple of names out there that the Indian vendors have actually out-executed them. And their two top bets, Persistent Systems, target of 5920, which is well, about a 24 or 25% upside. So watch out for Persistent in the session today. That's the first one. I'm just trying to reiterate, recheck the price hike as well. And KPIT, their target price is 2120, which is about a 25% upside as well. So watch out for Persistent in KPIT. They've downgraded Tata Elxsi, by the way, or Tata Tech, if I'm not wrong. Also, by the way, on Persistent, just want to mention, Citi has opened a negative catalyst watch. So while we have a Bernstein positive note, Citi has opened a negative catalyst watch on Persistent. So conflicting opinions at play today. Speaking of Citi, they have come out with a note on Affle. They have initiated coverage with a buy rating, a target price of 1600 per share. They say they expect 20% top line CAGR over FY24 to 27. It's well positioned to benefit from recovery in mobile ad budgets as well. And they say that ROE focused M&A strategy could actually see business turn around in large developed markets. So that is something to watch out for. Like I said, on terms of numbers, 20% top line CAGR and 400 basis points margin expansion over F24 to 27. Watch out for Affle. The target price is 1600, current price is 1368. It's a stock you want to monitor. There is a note from Jefferies on Tech Mahindra. We may not have it here, but they are effectively saying that there is a reality check on the 15% margins number by FY27, and they have a downgrade on Tech Mahindra. So that is a note, that is something that I would watch out for as well in the session today. Citi, by the way, on the, well, they've come out with a note on Affle. Their pecking order is Zomato, Delivery, Affle, and Cartrade. Zomato is still apparently their top idea. There is a Citi note on Emami, making it too much of a Citi thing, but they've raised the target price to 900 versus 650 earlier. The target is the stock is already at 749. They're saying that increasing P multiple to 40 times from 30 times given growth, and they see strong growth in the seasonal portfolio and see margin expansion in the organized channel. So I'll watch out for that as well. There's a stock called MacFos or Robu. But MacFos is how it's listed on the BSC. Say the shareholding pattern came out, and SageOne now collectively owns about 6.17% stake as per the latest shareholding pattern. So this is big because 6% is a large stake, but remember they got a preferential at 450. The stock is already at 774, so it's way above their stock price. But it's SageOne, Samit Vartak may evoke a reaction. Some price volume breakouts seen yesterday in Suven Life, Sadhana Nitro, Everready, and HPL Electric. Look at the delivery-based buying seen in each of these names and the price action. So watch out for these small names, but watch out for each of these. But more importantly, before we wrap up, I just want to leave you with a thought. It's great to enjoy the gains. The mid caps and small caps are running amok, but it's very important to keep an eye out on the risk as well. So keep that in mind as you trade the markets on a daily basis. What comes into the bank is profit. What doesn't is just paper profit.